The revolution's begun. The time to stand up has come. We are the rocking of the throne. We are the rocking of the throne.
Hello, I'm Victor Tiffany, the co-founder of Citizens Against Plutocracy, the organization organizing the Contract for American Renewal nationwide effort to get populists elected to Congress. I'm very excited today. I have Rick Gallant with me. He's the Democrat running in the primaries for the Democratic Party here in New York's 23rd Congressional District. Rick, thanks for joining me today.
My pleasure, Victor. And again, it's Gallant.
Gallant. I said it wrong, didn't I?
That's all right.
So, why don't we begin by telling people why you got into this race? What makes you think you can beat Tom Reed should you win the Democratic Party primary?
Well, Victor, I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher my entire adult life. I'm 59 years old, and I'm have been a union member for all those years as well. And the thing that kind of ticked me off about Tom Reed is early on when he kind of signed off on the budget that cut out a lot of programs for kids that I service and their families. That's what kind of pushed me over the edge.
Okay, and of course, you're not in Ithaca. Reed has made a big point about attacking Ithaca liberals. So why do you think you can actually defeat Reed should you win the Democratic primary?
Well, actually, I live about 3 blocks from where Tom Reed does in Corning. So the Ithaca end of it's out of it. But I also am on the New York State United Teachers Board of Directors, and I represent about 150 school districts across most of the district, from Waverly out through the west through Dunkirk. So I have a lot of connections and contacts and front porches and back porches and couches that I can sit on and stand on, and those people already know me. So I think because of that, I cross a lot of the boundaries. I mean, I'd be naive to think that all teachers are Democrats, but I think that's going to be kind of my ace in the hole, Victor.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Is there anything else that you think voters should know about you before the Democratic Party primaries coming up in June?
Well, I come from a family of teachers. My wife is a retired teacher. I have 2 daughters, one who's got a PhD in public health, which kind of taps me into the whole healthcare thing. I have another that was an environmental science major, so that kind of taps me into the environment and outside issues and the things that make our area so great with the Finger Lakes and all the green hills and everything else. So I really believe that I am a person that can reach out on both sides and get people to follow me, because I'm a lot more like them than Tom Reed is.
Okay. Tell people why you decided to go ahead and sign the Contract for American Renewal.
Well, that contract is basically, Victor, everything that I've spoken to ever since I started running. I've always been, again, as a union guy, I've always been a $15 minimum wage guy. I have always been, and one of the things I speak about all the time as we send off tuition bills still, and my daughters are in their 30s, free college tuition for in-state kids, not only colleges, but trade schools, tech schools. I think that there should be 0% loans on kids that decide to go to private schools or out-of-state schools. I believe wholeheartedly in single-payer health care. All the things that you guys put on the contract, I've already professed from the very beginning of my running last May.
So some of those ticket items are pretty expensive. School, college for all who are qualified and are in state, and Medicare for all. You're just a tax and spend liberal, aren't you?
You're not the first person that said that, but no. So actually what I am is I'm a tax the guys who have the most money. So I would go just the opposite of what they've done with this tax plan. And I think when you talk to the people that have the most money, they're more than willing to be taxed and use those taxes. The Social Security issue is another issue where we need to raise the cap on that. Not at all, not at all. I think that we need to, I have always been a good of the whole kind of guy. And I think that most people are good of the whole people as well, including those with the most money. And I don't think they mind giving a little of that away. I don't think we need to spend nearly as much money on defense as the current regime, for want of a better word, is trying to put into it. So I think there's plenty of money, plenty of ways to do this.
So aside from Medicare for all and free college education, which of the other 5 positions you signed on to for your contract are you expect to go to Washington and promote hardest with your colleagues?
Well, we need to keep the tax dollars in the country. So the corporations that are making lots and lots of money, we need to not only have them pay their fair share in taxes, which will help pay for some of those other programs I talked about, but we need to keep those taxes and those dollars in this country. That's another huge one. And then I mentioned before, Victor, the Social Security cap. It's silly that once you get to a fairly low ceiling, that you're not paying taxes on Social Security, therefore you're not kicking into it.
All right, now tell people, just not necessarily voters, but people who might be thinking about signing a contract like this themselves, candidates around the country, how you expect to deploy this contract. Are you going to put out a press release indicating to the media that you've signed this contract? Are you going to reference it during debates? How do you expect to make use of this contract in order to best to your greatest advantage?
So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll link it to our website. We'll put a Twitter link out to my Twitter, and we'll go from that direction. And then everything that I've already said, every time we talk about it, I'd be more than happy, and we'll plan on mentioning my connection with CFAR.
That sounds great. And then one final question then. Why would Democrats want to choose a teacher and not a lawyer? I'm not going to name names, or a teacher, or any of these other candidates. Aside from our view, which is you're the only candidate willing to sign the dotted line and make a binding commitment to do what you actually say you're going to do, commitment to the voters to do that. Why else do you think Democrats this coming June should vote for you and not one of the other candidates?
Well, I say this all the time, since you just say that, Victor, but I'm not a lawyer. I've never flown jet planes. I've never worked in the ivory towers. I have owned a business. We used to own a whitewater rafting business in northern Pennsylvania. But teachers have a certain perspective on things that other people don't have. Every day we deal with kids. We deal with the adults in their family. We deal with the social services that serve them. Everything that we do every day is about interacting on a positive way with others. And I think that gives us, as teachers, a unique kind of grounded perspective that a lot of other people don't have.
Okay, well, I appreciate answering those questions, Rick. Maybe we'll do this again sometime, but until then, best of luck to you.
Thanks, Victor. I hope we do.
Revolt Against Plutocracy won't just be covering the news about the necessary revolution in the United States. Sometimes we'll be making the news. If you want to stay on top of the revolutionary actions and strategies of grassroots, genuine progressives, and our allies, please subscribe to our YouTube channel today.